Okay. Should be recording now. So hi everyone, this is Kelly, Sarah, Ann, and Linda. We're from Group Celtic, and our population that we're working on our ideation for is the daycare setting. And this is kind of our group brainstorm that we came up with. We kind of looked at our matrix and kind of looked at where we had a research gap, and some of the gaps were we noticed was like in the education of children and kind of things around. There was a lot of articles on caregivers, but not so much around children and the hand washing compliance and things like that. And then obviously a lot of quantitative information was found, but obviously we are empathizing and want to know more qualitative things with the people that we're working with. So that was part of our empathy and when we went out to our stakeholders. So anyway, we'll get started. We kind of grouped our ideas into who does our ideation impact? Is it children, is it caregivers, or is it both? So we kind of grouped them into those three categories. So I'll kind of start with, I think we'll maybe start with children first, and we'll kind of go down the line and our ideas there. So my first idea was about installing a tablet above the faucet that you could have like little 30-second videos, kind of age appropriate, that kind of educated the little ones while they were lathering their hands, and so that they could kind of just touch it at the start of their hand lathering, and then the video would go for 30 seconds, and then they would know that they needed to finish the hand hygiene process. So that was one of my first ideas. So I don't know if anybody had anything similar to, I didn't see anything similar to.
They had one of the pieces that I became aware of was a motion activated, and it was a sign that was, pictures and words of the steps of hand washing. And it was motion activated, and it came with like verbal cues. So when you were standing in front of it, it would cue you to wash your hands. It would cue you. It was like audible signs. And I can't remember if it said there was like colors. Like, I don't know if there was lights on certain parts of the sign, but so not a live video, but something,
Yeah.
Somebody came in front of it.
Yeah.
Enacted, it started.
Well,
yeah, that's a great idea.
I think with the technology, I think with these kids nowadays, especially the young ones, they're all into this technology more than obviously we ever were. But I think anything that we can do to implement some type of tablet technology feature, I think that would engage them. So I think, Anne, these next two are some of the ones that you came up with.
So again, just sort of along the same lines, the picture that was on there was actually another type of technology implementation, and it was this little piece that you buy that sits next to the sink itself, and it is motion activated, so it's providing prompts for the length of hand washing, things like that. And I was thinking with children, it plays some sort of well-known song, or it has its own song, like as I was looking things up, there were hand washing songs that daycare centers use. So having a hand washing song that would cue the children as to how long they're supposed to wash. And then so the interactive soap dispensers, and then colorful soaps. So like maybe, they're actually doing something that they can see, and it's sort of them getting to play with it a little bit, like, okay, now cover your whole hand in the green, and then they cover it in the green, so it gets them engaged in the things that they're focusing on in daycare itself. So dexterity, colors, songs, things like that.
I think I might have put it in this column, but I'm trying to look here where it's at. Yeah, so I had something similar, but it was more like the Coca-Cola, like when you go to a Coca-Cola machine and you can select what beverage or mix your beverages. I kind of had the same kind of thing where you can like pick different ones, maybe a combination of two only, and then it would either have a color or a scented theme or things like that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That would be like, they want them to wash their hands because they want to play with the different scents or the different colors, and they get to select what they get to use, so it's kind of along that interactive hand washing design. So I think Linda, you had the next one under there.
Okay, my concept was to start even before you get into the building. So I was thinking like before you get into the building, there's like this flashy sign that has songs. I don't think I put that on there, but like flashy hand wash signs and then underneath the sign there's like wash hands before eating, after playtime, after soil hands, etc. And then but there's someone also saying that message.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like like Alexa. It's like say, like telling the kids in their kids' language about washing their hands. Don't forget to wash your hands before, after eating, playtime, kind of like that. And it's like a continual thing. And then
I had the same idea too, Linda, about having something at right when you walk in that building, like when you were just talking about it though, it made me think about like some big, I don't know, like a big character, or like at Christmas time you have Santa, how they have those big and they would be telling you something, get engaged or something, as it's
kind of like when you go to Disney World and like that interactive, like that song, and then like Goofy wants you to have a good time, so
exactly.
And then I was thinking that so I kind of like for the kids, so then if you go down the bottom, I kind of put it at the bottom, but I was thinking there'd be like automatic sanitizer dispensers along with signs, like flashy, like make it colorful. And then when you for the kids bathroom, when you go into the bathroom, there's like flashy hand wash signs in each cubicle. So when they're using the bathroom, no one about to get out, there's like a sign, and then someone comes out, don't forget to wash your hands. And then when they go to the sink, same thing, there's like a flashy sign that illuminates, and then there's automatic soap water dispensers, and then a song comes on after the the water turns on and the soap dispenses, the song comes on, and it'd be like an ABC song or any kid song that plays for 15 seconds. When that song comes on, the dispenser stops and the water stops, and so the song plays as they're washing their hands, and then it's to the appropriate time, 15 seconds. I think that's what they want. And then as soon as that 15 seconds over, the song stops and then the water turns on. And that would go for both the adult and the kids, but the adult bathroom would have more of a G-rated adult song and in their adult language, so it wouldn't be as kiddish. Right. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
I just had like things like prize dispenser that would shoot out a small prize if the file follows all the steps of the process correctly. Again, a kind of implementation of a timer type thing. It sounds like that's kind of one of the themes of that. My other ideals was just like popular cartoon character soap dispensers, so they get to select what cartoon character they want to get their soap out of, kind of along the other line of the other dispenser, just a little bit different. And you had a couple of them here too.
Yeah, mine was thinking more of like, so the first one was this like sticker incentive programs. I can remember when I was a little kid, we would get stickers for good grades, stickers for behaving ourselves, stickers for, all those things. And we had a sticker book. and we would collect our stickers, and then at a certain point our teacher would count this, we would count them all up, and however many we had, we could go over to a toy chest. And you could pick certain levels of toys depending on how many stickers you had. So it would be some sort of a dispenser that, and of course it would be motion activated. So they're there, they've been standing in front of the sink for as long as they're supposed to. There would be sort of a fanfare of them washing their hands. And at the end, it would dispense a sticker. So
and then you can put it on the sticker monster.
Oh,
So
that's good.
This is I called it the kill the giant germ large poster or giant germ posted every day. So you'd like to educate the kids on germs. You have this giant poster on germs, and then they would take their sticker every time they wash their hands, and they got it. The goal at the end of the day was to cover the giant germ.
Yeah, that's
awesome. That's cool.
And that kind of goes with the intensive that I thought was that, each year when these kids are starting, or multiple times a year, because kids start at different times, especially in daycare centers, that it's just a reoccurring theme, and there's a reoccurring pattern, and they learn the song, and they learn how to do it, and they learn, why we're doing it. And there's just this reoccurring push to it. Cause I think with
repetition.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing is too, is that we can take all these ideas that we had and combine them. So you could have the soap dispenser and, the stickers and like the germ monster, and like we could just like do little stations or whatever that are really cool and fun for kids.
Yeah.
There's a couple more that you had over there. I liked Anne. I love this one, the kid friendly.
So I just remember we had them when I was younger, and so there was two different kinds, the kinds that fit on the tub, and then the kinds that fit on the sink. And ours were, and there's so many different types of them, but ours were like dolphins and whales. And what we would do is you would put it over, and the mouth hung open, and that's the water that you would wash your hands with or brush your teeth with. And then you could also pull the mouth up and close it, and out the blowhole, it created a drinking fountain.
Oh my God.
They still have stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they still have them. So that's kind of what I was thinking, was if you're making it kid friendly, you're making it this sort of fun thing. And then same thing with making sure that the sinks are at a level that are easy for children to use, or purchasing stools that make it easy for children to use.
Mm-hmm.
And then the incentive programs for families, if they tracking their infection rates in these daycares, and maybe, if they're, I don't know, if they track them, and then at the end of the year or in a rolling 6-month period, if they see a decrease in the, increase in hand washing compliance and decrease in infection rate, maybe everybody gets $20 off that month,
incentivize.
Yeah. If they're not
I like that you were thinking about the adults and the kids at the same point, not just the kids.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Bring their families into it too, so that, hey, you're going to practice this at home too, because if they don't have to wash their hands at home, they're not going to think they have to wash their hands in daycare.
Right.
That's smart.
So, Sarah,
you could also have like raffle drawings or something. That's a great idea.
That's true. Family homework.
Yeah.
There was I agree with you guys on the soap colors. I just wanted to elaborate on that. There's like glitter. There's all kinds of different textures. Slime is a big thing now. Silly string, all of that. And I kind of labeled mine for the 5 senses. And then also just ease of use, simplicity, because I thought there was a lot of things. There's a lot of trends with like herbal, aromatherapy, calming. We use that in our daycare. And parents just have to sign off that they're okay with it. And so it wouldn't be that hard to try something like that. Just also like with scents, I thought a lot about smells, because kids like to smell. I don't know if it'd be good to have it smell good or yummy, because kids like to eat,
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
So we don't want them to eat it, but what if it had a new scent, like bad smells like bug or rope? Because you would think it wouldn't be appealing, but I just did the jelly bean game at Easter time where it's like, guess which jelly bean you're going to get, and you spin, and it could either be popcorn or, cockroach. So then you're like, everybody loved it because you could guess. So I was like thinking of fun ways to get kids to go, oh, I get to go do that and smell. Is it a good smell or a bad smell? The kids like those toys that have ridiculous sayings. So what if it said ouch or exclaimed or farted or did something? Although that'd be obnoxious in a daycare setting, but or it says great job and like Disney characters, or those like, hey, great job, cowboy, and then it's somebody else, a princess, saying wonderful, you're a princess. They love that stuff. They believe in magic. And then for like the adults, I don't know if this is possible at all, but like coconut oils have some properties that are wonderful. Is there some way you can moisturize while you're doing it or have some kind of aromatherapy? Just thinking about everything besides just the kids washing their hands. But yeah, a lot of the same ideas with scented and good signage and using technology, soap colors. Yep.
So the middle category, we're at about 14 minutes right now, just so girls know.
Real quick, Kelly, I like, Sarah, I like your different odor smells.
Yeah.
That could go along with making maybe the hand sanitizers a different smell. Like kids smell like bubble gum, like you said. Something that get them motivated.
You just wouldn't want them to eat it because they do like to eat crazy stuff.
Maybe put a big old sign, do not eat. Or
that stops them right there. I don't know.
I haven't had little ones in a while, so.
I'm going to put up a sign that says, do not eat. No.
We should put up a sign to tell them to go to bed, too.
Yeah, I'm going to do that tonight.
Put up a sign with a picture of you pointing.
That got me laughing. Oh. No, but or it's something like it's like the element of surprise. Maybe it's colors, and maybe it's something where you can check out the new color because it's day foam like green or whatever. I don't know, rainbow colors you swirl and then they disappear, and you have to rub them in really well. Stuff like that.
I had like the Staples easy button concept where they would press the button and then it would, it could time them, or it could tell them what to do. Wet your hands, apply soap, start the music, and then you can dance, and I don't know, something like that. Just kind of like the easy.
Yeah. It's like that.
Let's see. I think Linda kind of mentioned some of her other ideas earlier. Also thought about, who doesn't like a black light? So kind of getting the I think probably other people had this ideal as well, but and having that glow gel and then being able to have like a black light over the sink and make sure that their hands are clean prior to them leaving the station. So, and I think Linda, you mentioned kind of maybe periodic overhead intercom announcements about hand washing, just reminders throughout the day. So. Let me see what else. You mentioned those. The only other thing I thought it was a big digital touchscreen interactive board. You could either do this. I was thinking more afterwards as a reward, like it would be like an educational digital board, but like after they could have like kind of a reward system too. After so many tokens, after they wash their hands, they get a token. And after so many specified tokens, you get like 5 minutes on the interactive board, play on the interactive board, or something to motivate them to want to wash their hands. So, cool. And then we got about a minute and a half left, it looks like. From the adult kind of side, I guess, obviously, I think the big thing is just having, and you had mentioned this too, just having the accessibility to products in an easier way. And just like, when do you wash your hands versus sanitizing? The CDC article I read said, hand sanitizer should be a 60% alcohol base, but it's better for killing germs than soap and water. But obviously you can't always use hand sanitizer. If your hands are visibly dirty, you're going to need to wash your hands. And so just like signage about like
when
and so why. And you had a couple here as well.
Yeah, mine was just, again, along the lines of just those education bits, like sort of whatever we decide to do, whatever our idea is, like, are we going to do the education piece along with it, making sure that we have all of that, and then how are we going to measure this? Like, how are they tracking this stuff already? And if they're not, what if they go ahead and start to track it, so that they can actually monitor whether their initiatives or our initiatives are working. And just, I have never been in a daycare center. I don't have children, so I don't know, I know at the hospital there's hand sanitizers stations everywhere.
Yeah.
So is there an opportunity for the same thing in these daycare centers, obviously being mindful of the children running around, but are they in the same, do increase the access to it the same way that we do at the hospital to reduce the times that people don't do it and increase the times that they do?
So I think we unfortunately need to wrap it up. We could probably go on, and I'm sure we'll have to get together again to kind of narrow, obviously, our ideals down. But I think we
need to pick a group to focus on, because it's, and it seems like most of our fun, innovative ideas really came with the kids.
Yes. So, great, girls. Well, thanks. I'm going to stop the recording here.